I'm on fire. Hey, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. You can't put me out. I'm on fire. Hey, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. You can't put me out. I'm on fire. Hey, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. You can't put me out.
Good afternoon and a happy Tuesday. A beautiful afternoon here on the campus of Marian University as we are gearing up for a conference doubleheader between the visiting Taylor Trojans and the Marian Knights here on the ISC Network. Kelsey Casper and Jim Leisure with you. We couldn't have asked for a more perfect afternoon. Sunny and 71 degrees here in Indianapolis. But for today's matchup, Jim, some pretty important games with the regular season winding down.
Yeah, the Marian Knights obviously are still, I think they're a game or a half game up in the conference standings ahead of IWU. And, if you're Taylor, you've had a really good season. You're off to a, 28-16 start. You'd like nothing more than to play spoiler in this conference race.
These two teams will battle it out twice this afternoon. Olivia Stunkel in the circle for Marian. It's a first pitch strike to Grace Mullins. Olivia Stunkel, 3-time Crossroads League Pitcher of the Year. Already putting together a pretty impressive campaign to win that award for the fourth straight year. A 20-0 win-loss record and a 1.61 ERA.
20-0, though, that's just, that's obscene is what it is. It's very impressive.
This is sophomore Grace Mullins for Taylor from Jeffersonville, Indiana. Batting .362 on the year. He started 28 games for the Trojans.
Jeffersonville, Indiana, probably still celebrating their boys 4A state championship in basketball back in March.
Took down Fishers High School, an exciting matchup. And an exciting start for Stunkel. She gets the called strike on the corner, one away here in the first.
One of the things I noticed there, Kelsey, is that she just stayed away from her the whole time. Never really once even tried the inner half, or heaven forbid you don't want to be on down the middle, but stayed right on that outside corner. Left a couple pitches up, basically said, here, look, if you want to get yourself out, swing at this. But for the most part, when it came time to get the strike, she stayed on the outside corner.
And utilizing the off speed as well. In for a strike against Madison Stanrich. The junior playing third base for the Trojans. Another Hoosier from Alexandria, Indiana.
One of the Tigers, I believe, up there, if I'm not mistaken. Very proud sports community. Had a lot of success at the 2A level in multiple sports.
Stanridge has had a lot of success at the plate, batting above 400, but she's going to pop it up to Malone at short for out number 2.
And you could probably hear Allie Malone out there really communicating, mine, and second baseman Madeir rolls over and gets behind her in case, heaven forbid she does miss it, but I like the communication.
2 batters faced and 2 outs. That'll bring up Livy Lehman batting in the 3 spot for the Trojans.
Olivia Stunkel, a fast worker. She gets the ball for the most part. She walked off the rubber that time. But for the most part, she just gets it and flings it back.
She wastes no time. As Lehman fouls this one back.
And as a fielder, you like that. You like a pitcher who works fast. And when you get a pitcher who, takes their time and just takes forever, you have a tendency to fall asleep. You can't fall asleep when Olivia Stunkel's on the mound because you might get a line drive to the face.
On the off speed again, in the air. And 1, 2, 3 go the Trojans. Stunkel with some quick work, and Marian will grab the bats for the first time. You're watching the ISC Sports Network.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
Marian grabbing the bats for the first time in the home half of the first inning. Take a look at the lineup that has been pretty consistent this entire year. Hoffman, Pritchett went the 1-2-3 to lead things off. Grace Meyer, Minix, followed by Green. A little bit of movement in the bottom of half of the lineup. Malone, Mystic Means will be in the DP spot, and then Brooke Knox will round things out in the 9-hole. This is a Marian Knights offense that has just been electric this entire season. As a team, they're hitting .374, and they got 4 hitters batting above 400 on the year.
And, you know, the pitcher for Taylor is Claire Cullen, and you know, Claire can't obviously feel horribly comfortable about those numbers. She knows she's going to be facing a very formidable group, and she's going to have to be on top of her game. Stunkel got through that top half of the first in 12 pitches. We'll see whether or not Claire Cullen can do the same.
Cullen pitching not too far from home. The freshman from Noblesville, Indiana. On the season, already racked up 11 wins in her rookie campaign, a 3.85 ERA, making her 20th start on the year. She'll look to do the same as her counterpart, like you mentioned, Stunkel, going 1-2-3 in the top half of the inning. And here's Abby Hoffman. She takes first pitch strike. Hoffman playing left field, batting .448 on the year. They started every game for the Knights this season.
Cullen trying the inner half on Hoffman, whereas Stunkel tended to stay away from the hitters. Cullen is kind of driving the ball inside.
And Hoffman's ahead 2-1. A sophomore from Roncalli High School. Started every game her freshman year as well. She was named the Crossroads Newcomer Player of the Year. First team all-conference accolades. All finishing third on this team in batting average. The .392 mark in her first year. She's patient at the plate. Hoffman draws the leadoff walk in the first.
Stayed inside the whole time there. I thought with 3-1 that Cullen was going to have to come to her with a little bit more of a hittable pitch. But a little bit of respect there to being shown to Abby Hoffman, saying, look, I don't want to give you a hittable pitch. And if you're going to take a walk, but you're not going to hit something hard.
Now an opportunity to play some small ball as here's Anna Pritchett. Pulls back on the bunt. 1-0 the count.
Abby Hoffman, a definite threat to steal. 24 stolen bases on 25 attempts. Question is, who threw her out?
Waiting to test the arm of Delaney Barton behind the plate.
2-0 is a great count to hit. We'll see if Coach Fleming keeps the bunt on or if he gives her a green light to hit her favorite pitch.
Finally looks at a strike. And Pritchett, player with so much speed, if she gets a bunt down,
yeah, you're not throwing her out.
About 80% of the time, she's going to be safe at first. Well, here's the 2-1. Now make it 3-1.
Well, same situation really as 2-0. 3-1 and 2-0 to me are the same type of counts. Obviously hitter counts, and if you're going to let her swing, you tell them, hey, listen, only your favorite pitch. If it's not your favorite pitch, don't swing.
Pritchett fouls back the bunt. Collins worked herself back into a full count. Here's the payoff. And back-to-back walks to start this game from Claire Cullen. So 2 aboard and nobody out for the Marian Knights.
Great spot to be in for Marian. Now, again, we talk about it just about every broadcast, Kelsey, where I don't know what it is about walks, but they just always come around to score. You can have a leadoff triple, and that batter ends up getting stranded at third, never finds its way in, but you walk somebody, and somehow, some way, they get in.
Well, here's Lily Went. You can see Cullen struggling to find the strike zone a little bit. She likes that inside corner, but not getting the call.
Yeah, and she's been there, inside to the right-handed hitters and outside. She just stays right there.
have to make some adjustments as Went pops it up. They'll stay in the infield and fly Lehman underneath it for out number 1. So everyone stays put. Productive out for the Trojans as you sit down the best bat in the lineup.
Yeah, really big out so far, and if you're Claire Cullen, obviously you really need this one here, and hopefully to get out of this inning without any damage done. That would be huge. First and second, nobody out, and no runs would be huge.
That one just catching the corner. So first pitch strike to Grace Meyer, the catcher hitting .410 on the year. One of 6 seniors who were honored last week for Senior Day for Marian.
I started to say, Kelsey, she's been always on that right-handed batter's box, side of the plate. Left-handed hitters, it's an outside pitch. To right-handed hitters, it's an inside pitch. But she just stays there.
You see Barton taking a second. Talk with her pitcher.
Not a bad idea. I honestly thought after the second walk, and I noticed that Cullen kind of herself took a break. She walked back, got out of the circle, took a couple of deep breaths and said, okay, refocus. But I like the fact that, Delaney Barton says, hey, let's go out and talk here a little bit. Now, again, umpires have to keep track of how many timeouts and mound visits that even the catcher makes. The coaches are limited, but even, the catchers are limited to stoppages of play as well. But I think it's well timed, frankly.
She's got a 2-1 count here to Grace Meyer. Living on the outside corner to the lefties, 2-2.
Whatever she said to her, go out there and say it again. She got the pitch she wanted.
Just missing.
Thought Grace Meyer was going to throw the bat down and take off to first.
She was ready.
Well, she's like, wait a minute. Hey, what? Now what?
But she's got a full count to work here. Bounce one back.
Good pitch. Pitch would have been a strike, had it gotten to the catcher's glove. But Grace Meyer, a good hitter, and, good hitters will spoil those pitches. That was a really nice pitcher's pitch, and she fouls it off and lives to swing again.
So 3 walks in this first inning, and the bases are loaded for the Knights with 1 out.
There's some action down in the Taylor bullpen as Coach Gower's going to go out and see if he can't calm his pitcher down. That is number 21, Katie Kotlowski. She's not warming up in a hurry. She's just down there really, I think, getting loose. In fact, right now she's just standing watching the action just like everyone else is.
See interim head coach Doug Gower talk with his pitcher, talk with his infield. In his second season as interim head coach, spent 17 years though coaching at Huntington. So he has a lot of head coaching experience, a lot of experience in this conference. Trying to settle his team down, talking through multiple options with only 1 out with bases loaded.
Yeah, just reminding all the fielders, look, just take the ball where it takes you. If the ball's hit to you to your left, then go left and let's try to turn it that way. If it's hit in front of you, we're coming home. We have a force at home plate. But just play the ball and just take the ball where it takes you.
Well, big opportunity for Jenna Minix here in the first inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. Swings on her first pitch to shortstop, and Hoffman's gonna be safe at home.
So fielder's choice for Minix and an RBI. I would have liked to see her slide there, to be honest with you. I'd like to see Abby Halpin slide, make that play. You're going to see the replay here. It's awfully, awfully close, but I do think the call was correct.
So Marian on the board first here in game number 1. Bases still loaded, still 1 out for Ailey Green.
And if you notice that the shortstop was in and the ball was not hit hard, so she could have went 1. You're going to give up a run if you do that.
Yeah, it wasn't hit too hard.
No.
And Hoffman with a ton of speed at third. You got to realize that.
Yeah,
Probably didn't have too much time to make that play.
Yeah, you probably should have went one. Hindsight being 20, right? When in doubt, get an out. And like you said, that's an excellent point, Kelsey. Know your batter runners, right? I mean, know your runners. The gal on third can fly. The hitter's just maybe slightly above average speed. I've got a chance to get her at first.
Now a 2-2 count to Haley Green.
Coach Fleming wisely gets out of the way of that shot there. See a lot of coaches try to make a play.
But still some speed on the base paths. Pritchett at third, Meyer second. Minix at first. Green keeps her bat back. She did not. It's a full count.
Yeah, and Jenna Minix isn't slow, don't get me wrong. It's just that she's coming from a standing start and has a little bit further to go because being in the batter's box.
Now one catching a piece of green. So another run plates for the Knights here in the first inning. And Green trots down to first.
You saw it on the replay there, just barely got her. And, again, it's one of those deals where it's really a walk. I mean, it's a hit by pitch, obviously, but it's another free pass.
So it looks like it'll be a pitching change here in the first inning. And it's a short day for Claire Collin. And we had already mentioned Katie Kotlowski was warming up in the bullpen. The junior from New Pal, Indiana, is going to enter the circle with only one out and bases loaded.
I thought that name sounded familiar. I'm a New Pal grad. When I was a kid, my bus driver's name was Bob Kotlowski, and I'm sure it's some relation to Katie.
Well, today's game is brought to you by AAA Roofing. When it rains, it pours. So trust the pros at AAA Roofing. That's who we call. Special thanks to AAA Roofing for their support of Marian Athletics. For Katie on the season, a 4-5 win-loss record, making her 26th appearance. Almost all of those coming in relief with a 6.46 ERA. Third on the team in innings pitched with 69.1.
Come on, Allie.
And she'll face 7, 8, 9 in this Marian lineup. As Allie Malone steps into the box. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it back. Still one out, still bases loaded. Area Knights have slowly put those first 2 runs on the board. This is a team that usually makes a lot of noise with their bats. But 3 walks issued so far this inning. And then a run scored off an RBI fielder's choice from Jenna Minix. And then Haley Green with the hit by pitch.
Just looking at the stats here, Kelsey, I noticed that Katie has given up 11 home runs, so obviously she wants to stay away from the big fly here.
Good eye.
2-1 count to the freshman.
Yeah!
Waits back on this. Crushes it into center field. 2 are gonna score.
Sit, Allie. Nice job.
And Allie Malone puts the Knights up 4-0.
Well, you said it. She stayed back on the off-speed pitch, does a real nice job of keeping the hands back. You saw the stride. She got the foot down, but the hands were still back. She recognized the off-speed pitch. The ball was bobbled in center field, which led to an easy second run and allowed the runner on first to get to third.
That was the first hit of the inning for the Knights, despite having 4 runs on the board. So runners at the corners for Mystic Means. Malone's gonna get herself into a rundown. The tag, they got her at first. And Green will stay put at third. So great job defensively by the Trojans. They get a big second out.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see that where they intentionally get themselves hung up and then, you're hoping to create a rundown long enough for the runner on third base to get in and score. And even if they get the out, you'll certainly trade a run for an out.
Mystic Means went 0-2. It's now with 2 outs and just a runner on third. Means probably going to put a swing into this. She will. Slow roller over to third. But Staindrich gets the out at first. But a productive first inning for the Knights. They put 4 on the board. They lead heading into the second.
When you have back or neck pain, you'll try anything for relief. Anything.
Whoa! Honey?
Honey, it was mustard seed.
For real options, get your back in front of the spine experts at Ortho Indy. Ortho Indy Spine. This is your way back.
4-5-6 due up for the Trojans. Trail by 4 as we enter the second inning. Here's the starting lineup. We already saw Mullen, Standridge, and Laban. They went down 1-2-3 in the first inning. Larkin, Barton, and McCreary due up, followed by Browning, Duncan, and Agri. Mentioned Claire Cullen in the circle, not hitting in this lineup. But lots to do for the Trojans. They're coming off 2 wins against Grace in their doubleheader on Thursday. Took game 1 12-4, took game 2 10-4.
Still very early and a lot of softball to be played, but boy, if you're Taylor, you'd like to get 1 or 2 of these back.
The off-speed's been on for Olivia Stunkel. It's into a strike for Kaylee Larkin. Gets the call again, 0-2.
Just nasty. That pitch off speed, but still had like a little bit of movement on it. That really puts a hitter in a bind.
Lays off the heat outside. Larkin wanted 2 players to start every single game for the Trojans this year, adding 372. Pops it up right side. Calling for it is Went. 1 away.
Oh, very quickly, Went calls for the ball, and second baseman rolls over there. Just, again, to make sure that she doesn't, lose it in the sun or ask for help. Good communication. I like to hear when kids are talking. Outfielders need to communicate. Infielders need to communicate. Makes the game a lot simpler when you know what's going on around you.
Delaney Barton will look for the first hit of the afternoon for Taylor. Stunkel has retired the first 4 she has seen. Delaney Barton catching today. Junior from New Pal. Hitting .360 in the 22 games she has started on the year.
Stunkel finds herself in a 3-0 hole. Let's see if she can battle back.
And that is drove into center field for the first hit of the afternoon for Taylor. So Barton with the green light on 3-0.
Now batting number 18, Delaney McCreary.
I like it. As a coach, if you're going to let people bat 3-0, it's generally going to be, 4-5 or 3-4 and 5.
So first base runner on for the Trojans. That one in for a strike to Delaney McCreary. Left fielder, junior from North Vernon, Indiana. Swing and a miss. Stunkel ahead now in the count, 0-2.
Well, the alpha to the omega here. Last time she fell behind 3-0, gave up a hit. Now she's up 0-2.
Bounces back and gets the K. Her second of the day for Stunkel.
Now batting number 30, Bella Brown.
It's a two-way for Bella Browning.
Bella already, and I hate to use the word concede, but she's choking up just a little bit because she knows that Stunkel can gas it up there pretty quick. So you choke up a little bit and you try to get a little bit of back control, a little bit of bat speed.
The freshman hitting .314 on the season. 13 RBIs. That one in for a strike, 2-1. Chases, 2-2.
Stunkel kind of just stomping around that circle almost like a cat chasing its prey here. She knows she's kind of got her, I think, on her heels a little bit.
Catches a piece of it.
Nice battle back by Bella Browning there. Says, you know what, this bat is not over yet.
Trying to battle back, 2-2. The off speed freezes Browning at the plate. After giving up the single, Stunkel gets back-to-back strikeouts. And the Trojans strand one on.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.75% APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
It's a beautiful day here on the campus of Marian University. Multiple teams taking advantage of the nice weather. The tennis courts active. Football, soccer fields being used. Baseball not here today. Last week on Friday, softball and baseball going on at the same time here.
Parking is always a premium here at Marian University, but never more so than when both the baseball and softball teams are hosting.
Jim and I get here extra early.
And still can't find anywhere to park.
Leading off for the Knights, number 1, Brooke Knox.
Well, as we enter the bottom of the second inning, 9-1-2 due up for the Knights, who nearly batted around their lineup in the first inning. First pitch strike for Trojans pitcher Katie Kudlowski, who came in relief of Claire Collin. Knox in the air. Over to first base, Larkins there for out number 1. For this Taylor defense, Barton behind the plate. Reading left to right, Standridge at third, Browning at short, Lehman second. You just saw Larkin at first. And same thing with the outfield, left to right, McCreary, Agri, and Mullins. Back to the top, here's Abby Hoffman. She was one of those 3 walks. Back in the first inning, came around to score. One and one the count.
Really good spot there by Kotlowski. Again, just nipping that outside corner. Difficult pitch to hit. If you do hit it, if you're a hitter, you want to drive it to right field. Otherwise, you're not going to hit it hard.
Fouls it back. Your head coach Scott Fleming down on the third base line in his 22nd season leading this Marian squad. Just a few weeks ago earned his 800 win. Hard hit. Kotlowski's there for out number 2.
Now batting number 1, Anna Pritchard.
Nice job fielding her position. So 2-way for Anna Pritchett. Pulls back on the ball.
Pritchett walked last time up. She's going to try to get back on base here and see if the Knights can't come up with a 2-out rally.
Marian looking to bounce back from the run rule loss against Indiana Wesleyan. It was a top 15 showdown on Friday against the Wildcats. Marian took game one 14-3 in 5 innings. And then Indiana Wesleyan flipped it. They beat Marian 11-2 in 5 innings in game number 2.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
The bats were hot for Marian, and then they just went cold in game 2. While Indiana Wesleyan did a nice job responding. Poured on the runs. Those are the top 2 teams in the Crossroads. Right now it is Indiana Wesleyan, a game above Marian in the standings.
I had it flipped. I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
Pritchett, slow roller, over to second for out number 3. It's a good response from the Trojans. Sit down the Knights in order, 1, 2, 3. They'll look to cut into this deficit when we come back here on the ISC Sports Network.
We jumped in immediately. We take a intro to engineering course.
And they sit there and tell you, we're not going to push you through every single prereq your first 2 years. We're going to let you get hands-on work with engineering right away, because 2 years of a prereq, that's boring.
Everyone's outside enjoying the weather, enjoying some softball, furry friends included, as Marian has a 4-0 lead over the Taylor Trojans in game 1 of a doubleheader here at Marian. The usual crowd in the outfield.
And always a lot of dogs here. I mean, I've done a handful of games here this spring, but I've worked here in the past years, and it always seems like a very pet-friendly park.
You see in the past, players would bring their dogs too. You see Claire Duncan fouls it off. Duncan batting 8th in this lineup as the DP.
A lot of times in this situation, the home plate umpire will go out and dust off the plate, whether it needs dusted off or not, just to give Claire a second here to. It's like stubbing your toe. You just got to stomp around until the pain goes away.
Another freshman in this lineup. It's a big swing, 0-2. At Frankton, Indiana. Good eye, 1-2. Now Duncan has only started 4 games this season, 18 at-bats, but she has been productive in those at-bats, hitting .611. Earned herself a spot in this lineup.
And that's something, Kelsey, that, as a coach, I used to tell kids, hey, if you don't like batting 8th or 9th, or the fact that you're not starting, when I put you in, show me. Tell me I'm playing the wrong guy.
And she battles. Started with an 0-2 count. Has worked herself a full count here.
And this is probably some of the stuff that Coach Gower likes out of her, is that she does not give up on an at-bat.
As you see, heads up on the tennis court. And she works herself a walk. So lead off aboard in the top of the 3rd inning for the Trojans.
Now batting number 3, Adrian.
Here's Emery Agri. Lefty takes a first pitch strike.
Looking to see if Agri has any sacrifice. 4 times she's laid down a bunt in a bunt situation.
She'll look to get it down here. She does. Meyer, the catcher, will get the out at first. So Agri able to move the runner and get Duncan into scoring position with 1 out.
One of the things I really like to see here is the catcher, Grace Miller. When she gets the bunt out in front of the plate, she picks it up, but then takes 2 more steps into the diamond and improves the angle to first base. You see a lot of young catchers will try to throw over the head of the runner. All they really do normally is just hit him in the back of the head with the ball. But watch her, see how she comes out toward the pitcher's mound and makes a much easier throw.
Gets a good angle on it. Now the Trojans will turn over their lineup.
Now, we talked about it last inning, Kelsey. You know, if you were Taylor, you would like to get 1 or 2 of those 4 runs you gave up in the first. Well, here's a shot to get 1 or 2 of them back here.
Mullins fouls one back. Mullins struck out looking back in the first inning.
Comes in today 362. She had a nice cut at it. Again, that one off the catcher. So again, you saw the umpire basically just killing time, letting the catcher reset.
Fouls him back out of play. This is a Taylor team with 17 conference wins. They currently sit 5th in the Crossroads League standings.
Yeah, not a bad year at all.
The off speed again. Mullins gets rung up for the 2nd time today.
And again, just absolutely fooled her. She was not expecting that pitch, and by the time she realized it, yeah, it's just, all right, can I go sit down? Yes, you may.
It's a beautiful
You're
pitch.
excused.
It's a 2-way for Stanrich. Go out to shortstop at the 1st inning.
Left the changeup up, but it was still a nice pitch, just missed.
And we mentioned Taylor 5th in the standings. They've won their last 4 games as well. Last loss was the best team in the conference. Indiana Wesleyan got the best of them in a doubleheader on April 14th. Just over a week ago, but since then they've rattled off 4 straight wins. 2 against Huntington, 2 against Grace. Huntington sitting right above them in the conference standings.
Yeah, again, you know, 5th place and, you know, 28-16 record. It's impressive. 17-13 in the conference, but it's not where they want to be.
This one, blooper, but Malone going back on it. Able to make the catch. So back-to-back innings. Taylor strands a runner on the base pass. Marian will look to add to their lead as we enter the home half of the 3rd.
There's companies always asking for students with shop experience, and the dean will email me and say, hey, they're looking for a guy just like you, which is awesome that the dean knows who a guy like me is.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.75% APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
3-4-5 due up for the Marian Knights. In relief, Katie Kotlowski's done a good job for the Taylor Trojans, but now she'll have to battle it out. It's the heart of this Marian lineup. Lily Wett, Grace Meyer, Jenna Minix. They're going to add to the Knights' 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It was a quick day for Claire Cullen. She didn't give up a hit, but she did give up 3 walks and 3 earned runs.
First time through, really, though, for these hitters. They've not seen Kotlowski, so. Heard somebody in the crowd say 2-0, look for yours. That's what it means. Just your favorite pitch, and if it's not there, then don't swing at it. If it's a strike, who cares? But don't get yourself out.
Get off speed in from Kotlowski.
Yeah, and if you're the type of hitter that that I struggle with off, then don't swing at it. You're still ahead.
63 hits on the season for Lily Went. I think that may not be 64. Good speed from Avery out in center. That ball stayed in the air a little bit longer. Gave her enough time to make a nice catch out in center.
Yeah, good first step, good jump on it, and just, the ball's kind of tailing away from her, so that actually gives her a little bit of an angle on the ball. You can actually, I played center field for years, you can actually see it better because it's tailing away from you. And you know from what angle you need to approach, and she did a nice job.
Well, here's Grace Meyer with one out. Walked and scored back in the first. Meyer from Seymour, Indiana. His conference first team selection last year.
Home of the Owls, the Seymour Owls.
Big swing and a miss. 2-1.
Which only makes sense, right? If you see more, then maybe you're an owl.
Floater over to second. Easy work for Lehman, 2 down.
Kotlowski doing a fantastic job here of just kind of quieting these Knights bats down. I mean, we went from the 27 Yankees in the first inning to 5 in a row. 5 up, 5 down.
Well, 2 outs for Jenna Minix. The off speed has been working for Kotlowski, throwing it for a first pitch strike. Minix had that fielder's choice back in the first, and that one's gonna get through. Into center for a 2-out base hit. She grounded out to short back in the first inning, was able to plate a run. This time gets it past short for a base hit.
Yeah, and really a nice piece of hitting because, again, that ball had some late movement on it. She stayed with it and just barreled it up.
So 1 out for Haley Green. Battled in her first half bat, only to get hit right off the elbow. On a 3-2 count, bases loaded. Scored the first run of the game for Marian.
Finds herself in a little bit of a hole here, so yep, she looks like she's choked up just maybe an inch. I like that. Shorten things up, control the bat. Really a pitch out there. I think Taylor was thinking that Minix might be moving on the pitch, and so they thought, you know what, we're up 0-2, so we'll just waste a pitch here.
Fouls off, she didn't like. Does a great job battling. Waits back just enough to get a piece of the changeup.
Jenna Minix, a bit of a stolen base threat, 13 of 14 on steals.
Green, 1 hopper over to short. Browning tosses it to first for the last out of the inning. So after plating 4 in the first, Marian scoreless for the last 2. They still lead by 4.
Getting an internship here has been much easier than I anticipated. My friends at bigger schools are telling me, well, I need to live, close to this city so I can work for this company. Well, I'm already close to the city. I live here.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Got a good view of Marian University. 70 degrees and sunny. The end of April, we'll take it here in Indiana. Trojans looking for some offense. They've been able to get a base runner on the last 2 innings. See if Taylor can bring them around and get themselves on the board in the top of the 4th inning. It's the Marian Knights up 4-0. What are the Taylor Trojans? 3-4-5. Part of the lineup. Due up for Taylor, going up against arguably the best pitcher in the conference in Olivia Stunkel. Here's Livy Lehman. 0 for 1 on the day, flew out to second base back in the 1st.
You know, you mentioned the beautiful day for April. You know, it's been a very, very wet spring in Indiana. So far, the 2nd wettest April and recorded, I think, since 1903, since they've been keeping those statistics. But we still have a chance. We're only about an inch away from becoming the wettest.
That is a struggle for spring sports. For softball and baseball, I know on the Marian calendar on Friday, they have a doubleheader against Goshen. It was rescheduled from April 5th. That is their 2nd to last doubleheader of the year. Following today, they have 4 more games for the Crossroads League tournament, which Taylor will be hosting in Upland, Indiana. That kicks off April 30th on a Wednesday.
Never really been to Upland. I've been through it, drove through it one time on my way to Blackford County.
1-2 count. Marian last season, regular season champs and tournament champions. Lehman, dead center field, going back on it is Pritchett, making the catch on the run for out number 1.
Well, I really liked the way Lehman was swinging the bat. I mean, she was just missing contact. As you see Anna Pritchett go back, nice job right at the warning track. But she barreled it up, just unfortunately not enough. I'm kind of looking for a flag here to see if I can see whether there's any real wind to speak of. Does not appear to be much of any.
From the looks of it off the bat, looked well hit, but
sounded good too. It had that loud crack to it.
A good defensive play by Pritchett out in center. 1 away for Kaylee Larkin. On the ground, but just foul.
Wasn't sure there. I mean, again, normally when the home plate umpire, I mean, they'll bellow it out so that the runner knows. The runner's told, if you don't hear anything, run, okay, because he's pointing. You know, the home plate umpire is not supposed to yell fair. You don't yell fair. You signal fair, you yell foul.
It's a 3-pitch strikeout for Olivia Stunkel. Her 5th of the day. Two quick outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Here's Delaney Barton. As our team's only hit this afternoon.
Pitch just missed, good spot, but you know what, again, sometimes you don't always hit it, but I like it. I like where that's a good place to start the at-bat. Barton just up 3-0 here. I think she had a she did. She had a 3-0 count last time, and Coach Gower turned her loose.
Hit it right back up the middle. This time she'll take it.
Yeah, and she probably had the green light, but again, that pitch was the pitcher's pitch. It was right on the outside corner. Probably not going to hit it hard, so just don't swing.
Stunkel probably learned her lesson from the last at-bat. Maybe not. Barton's 2 for 2. 2 line drives to center field.
Barton, a 360 hitter coming into it, and there are some ladies in front of her You know, Standards at 403 and Lehman at 400, but maybe it's time to move her up in the lineup.
This is McCreary into the gap, and it's out of here. The Trojans cut Marian's lead in half thanks to the 2-run blast from Delaney McCreary.
Well, the Delaneys are wreaking havoc on the pitching of Stunkel. Nobody else has really hit the ball hard, but Delaney Barton and Delaney McCleary doubled her up there and cuts this lead in half.
Just her second home run of the season.
Wow, she didn't hit that like somebody who only had one. She hit that like somebody who's done it a lot.
Doing it against the best pitcher in the conference.
Yep.
It's now just a 2-run lead for the Knights.
So now it's time to see whether or not Stunkel can kind of calm down, take a breath, and get back in a rhythm.
That was just the 3rd home run all season. Olivia Stunkel has given up. Malone at short gets the out, but not before Delaney McCreary sends one out of here. It's a 4-2 lead for Marian as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning here on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 5.74% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Marian's lead has been cut in half. The Knights up 4-2 after the Trojans put 2 on the board. The top half of the 4th inning. Now they'll put it in the hands of Kotlowski, who's been solid in the circle for the Trojans so far. 2.2 innings pitched, has only given up 2 hits, no runs.
Well, now it's Marian's turn to see whether they can get 1 or 2 of these back, right? If you get 1, great. If you get 2, fantastic. You got to battle, take it 1/2 inning at a time.
There's Allie Malone, 7-8-9. Up for Marian. The last 2 pitches were close. Didn't get the call, so Malone's got herself a 3-0 count.
Well, a lot of times, Kelsey, when that's the case, it's just a matter of just a slight adjustment. You're going to move over a little bit on the pitching rubber. You're going to maybe just change your release point a little bit.
Malone gets things started for the Knights in the bottom of the 4th. Leadoff single for the freshman. Ball. It's past the infield. So 1 aboard for the Knights with nobody out. Here's Means. Gonna do her best to move the runner.
I was just looking here, that shows Means has 3 sacrifices on this season. I was also looking to see how many bases Malone has stolen. She's stolen, I think, 4 or 5.
Means starting her 8th game for the Knights this year. The freshman batting .535. And right back into the glove of Kotlowski. Couldn't double up Malone at first. Still went out.
Well, now you bring up the 9 hole, and again, generally speaking, the 9 hole is one that you would try to sacrifice. I don't know if you do it 1 out though, but
Big swing for Brooke Knox. Flew out to the first baseman, back in the second. The senior lifts one over to short. 2 down. After the leadoff single, 2 quick outs. As the Knights are back to the top, and Abby Hoffman. Hoffman takes it the opposite way. Going back on it is Mullins. Out in right field for the final out. Well, after giving up the leadoff single, Kotlowski rattles off 1, 2, 3. Taylor back to the bats when we come back.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead.
Or not.
Lots of fans out watching some Crossroads League softball this afternoon. Top of the 5th, Taylor leading 2 runs in the 4th inning. Look to add to that here. 8-9-1 coming up for the Trojans. Here's Claire Duncan. Freshman in the DP spot. Walk to lead off the 3rd. Back of the 4th inning, Olivia Stunkel giving up just her 3rd home run of the season. Delaney McCreary got the best of her. Duncan will pop up, going back on it. Malone in shallow left field will make the catch.
Now batting number 3, Emily Avery.
Here's Emery Agri. Sophomore out of Leighton, Iowa. Swings on her first pitch, fouls it back.
Gotta be honest with you, I'm normally pretty good with the mascot names of all the Indiana schools. I'm not very good with Iowa schools. I need to
brush up?
Yes, exactly.
Agri in her freshman campaign started 39 games, racked up 14 hits and 7 RBIs at the plate. Well, for her high school, she's a 3-time Iowa All-State player. She's got the school record for highest career batting average, career hits, career runs, and career stolen bases.
When she graduated, it was like losing 4 players. That's a big, big hole to fill.
Agri blasts this one into the gap. Hoffman was playing way in. And Agri into second, a stand-up double with 1 out.
Well, you mentioned the fact that Abby Hoffman, the left fielder, was playing in a little bit. Now, to a left-handed hitter, that's not unusual, especially a 9-hole hitter. 9-hole hitters from the left side generally tend to be slap-type hitters. They don't generally drive the ball over your head. So, really nice job of Emery Agri catching them off guard, kind of flat-footed a little bit. But you can't really blame the left fielder.
4th hit of the afternoon for Taylor, who, despite trailing by 2, is actually out hitting Marian 4-3. Here's Mullins. Stunkel's got the best of her today. She struck out looking twice.
1 out here. Agri's got to be careful. You don't want to. You got to freeze on the line drive. Make sure the ball goes through the infield before you take off. Anything hit to the right side, however, on the ground, she can't advance.
There's the off speed. 2-2.
Mullins has struggled first 2 times. This will be an opportunity for her to redeem herself.
Waits back, but fouls it off.
And I'm sure that that's exactly what she's thinking. She's like, all right, you know what? My first 2 at-bats were awful, but now I got a chance here to redeem myself.
Working hard to do it. Agri standing on second with 1 out. 2-2. Lays off high, full count.
Well, she does see a lot of pitches. Most of her at-bats have been, 4 or 5 pitches at least. This will be, I think, the 8th pitch of this sequence.
Agri goes up and gets this one. Malone checks on the runner, gets the out at first, 2 down.
Now batting number 1, Madison Standridge.
Agri does a real nice job again. You can't go there. You're going to just run yourself into an out. And Allie Malone does her job as well. Just kind of glance her back to second base and fire across.
So 2 down for Madison Standridge. Good job by Meyer behind the plate, getting down.
Yep, good block. Now with 2 outs, things are different. Obviously, you don't have to worry about getting doubled up, so you're moving on anything hit except to the third baseman. You're just flying.
Standridge up in the air. Tough spot, but Malone is going to get it. The shortstop Malone recording all 3 outs in this inning. As again, Taylor strands one on the base pass.
Hey, grab me 1, too.
Marian looking for a little insurance. So we end at the bottom of the 5th inning. Knights beat Taylor 4-2. Marian on the season, ranking 14th in the country. 35-7 win-loss record. Have racked up 25 conference wins. Looking to hang on for 26 here in game 1. The Trojan Zone, like we said, at 5th in the Crossroads League standings right now, 28-16. Have 17 conference wins. Right now, riding a 4-game win streak. A close game as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning. 2, 3, 4 coming up for the Knights. Anna Pritchett will lead things off. In the circle for Taylor, Katie Kudlowski has not given up a run so far against this powerful Marian offense. Pritchett bunt, foul.
Nice shot, good idea. The ball just did not get quite away from the catcher. If you can get that ball out in front of the plate, maybe 3 or 4 feet, make her come out and get it, you're probably safe from that left batter's box. Marian still trying to get one of those runs back that they gave up an inning ago.
1-2 count for the junior from Greenwood, Indiana.
Home with a Woodman. Are you aware of any of these? Or do you know all this stuff?
Some of them I know.
All right, okay.
I too need to brush up on my mascots just a little bit. As Pritchett goes down swinging, 1 down.
Indiana has some really unique ones. If you get on the IHSA website, there's a little tab about some of the nicknames, like the Shoals Jug Rocks and some of the others that are quite obscure.
Softly hit to third. Standridge will toss it over, 2 down.
Now batting number 2,
Of course, the Speedway Spark Plugs, just west of here in honor of the town of Speedway and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Countdown to days until May. 2 down for Grace Meyer. this top of the lineup has not been able to do much today for Marian. Granted, in the first inning, 3 of the first 4 batters walked. That's the first hit from the first 4 batters in this Marian lineup. As Grace Meyer puts it into center field with 2 outs.
Well, now we are, the second time through with Kotlowski for the Marian hitters, so they're going to go up there with a little bit more knowledge and say, okay, last time she got me out with this pitch or this sequence of pitches, and they're going to look in that direction.
Jenna Minix takes the first pitch strike. A single and an RBI for Minix so far in game 1. Senior from Plainfield. On the inside, 1-2.
Really, really good spot for a pitcher. I mean, that's a very difficult pitch to hit. If you do hit it, you're going to hit it right off the top of your hands, and you're probably going to pop it up.
Minix chases. First strikeout, second for Kotlowski. She strikes out 2 at the bottom of the 5th inning.
See the success that we've had around here has been very, very rewarding for me. My name is Steve Downing. I'm athletic director. We've been able to build buildings. We've been able to put up video boards. We've been able to build locker rooms, dining halls here. And I think a lot of that speaks to the M Club itself. People are really excited about what we're doing here. We haven't had to sacrifice anything for our athletes, okay, in terms of clothing them, feeding them, or traveling them to events, and we've done it in a first-class way, and I'm really excited about what that means for the M Club itself.
Good game here in game 1 of a doubleheader between Marian and Taylor on this Tuesday afternoon. 3-4-5 due up for the Trojans. First pitch swinging is Lehman, but Malone's got her for out number 1.
Well, I mentioned, Kelsey, the first time that these two teams played earlier in the season, they were both competitive ball games. Taylor, as you stated, is 5th in the conference, and Marian is 2nd, so no real surprise, I guess, that we have a competitive ball game here.
Larkin looks at one go by, 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out and flew out to the first baseman back in the 2nd. Stunkel so far through 5 1/3 innings has given up 4 hits and 2 earned runs, while striking out 5. And she falls to a 3-0 count here.
We know Coach Gower will turn him loose at 3-0. We'll see if he does here.
She swings on 3-0, pops it up to the shortstop. Malone's had a busy day, 2 down.
Well, they always say to be strong up the middle, meaning you want to have a good defensive catcher, good defensive shortstop, and center fielder, and then obviously second baseman generally is a solid fielder, but between the catcher, shortstop, and center, you want to be strong.
That is the 5th catch made by Malone. She's also had 3 on the ground to her. That's 8 putouts. Here's Barton. 2 for 2 on the day for the catcher.
Malone's glove is where singles go to die, apparently.
Just missing 2 and 1.
I think for the most part, these Taylor hitters have done a decent job of working counts and not swinging at pitches that are out of the zone.
Barton sends it to right. Coming in to make the catch is Minix. A 1-2-3 inning for Stunkel. As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, Marian leading by 2 here on the ISC Sports Network.
Some say you have to choose between reaching for Mars or harnessing more energy from a star. Going faster than the speed of sound versus bringing clean water from out of the ground. We say, why not both? The choice then is Marian University's Whitaker School of Engineering. Discover success with purpose. Learn more at marian.edu/engineering.
Beautiful day for some Marian softball. A good day to also grab a Pepsi with some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, proud partner of the Marian University Knights. Bottom of the lineup. Coming up for Marian, who leads 4-2. For Taylor in game 1 of a doubleheader. Regular season winding down after the doubleheader today. 4 games remain on the schedule for the Knights. Their last home doubleheader will be this Friday, playing Goshen, starting at 3 p.m. Then they'll hit the road to face off against St. Francis on Saturday. And exactly 8 days from now, Crossroads League tournament, hosted by Taylor, kicks off in Upland. Here's Haley Green. Looks at a strike, 1-1. It's hit by a pitch. Back in the first inning with bases loaded. Slow roller. Kotlowski's got it for round number 1. She's done a great job in the circle, but also fielding her position.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, you took the words right out of my mouth, but what about the job she's done? Obviously, she's come in and has not given up a run, and after that somewhat disastrous first inning.
Since Marian played at 4 in the first inning, they have putting 4 zeros on the board.
And I can tell you as a coach, this has happened to me too, where you think, daggone it, I just started the wrong person, right? Kotlowski's stats aren't overwhelming, but they're not bad. And, hindsight being 20/20, I'm sure that Coach Gower wishes now he would just started the game with her.
Here's Malone. We were just talking about her having a very active day at shortstop. The freshman, great job defensively, but also at the plate, she's 2 for 2.
One was the count she got her hit on last time, so she's looking for a pitch to drive, and if you can't drive it, don't swing.
3-1 count. Malone smokes this right into the glove of Agri in center.
Well, you can't hit it much harder than that. She absolutely barreled it up and just hit it on a line, and Emery Agri out there in center just barely had to move, maybe a step.
2 down for Mystic Means. Slow roller. Means easily is going to beat it out. An infield single with 2 outs. Marian's got to run around.
Now batting number 1, Brooke Knox.
Well, Mystic Means is, a left-handed hitter there, and, when you kind of swinging bunt here, you've got no shot. I mean, at 60-foot base pass, you got no shot. Kotlowski realized that. Why throw it around?
So Marian looking to make something happen with 2 outs. Here's Brooke Knox, batting 9th and hitting .284 in the season. Looks at a strike and falls 0-2. See Barton checking on Means. 5 stolen bases for Means on the season. Knox in search of her first hit of the day. He's thrown out twice. The 2-2. Waits back. Chopper over to short. Browning's got it covered. Taylor's locked in defensively as they put another 0 on the board. They're down to their final 3 outs as we head to the top of the 7th here in the ISC Sports Network.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
Marian looking to close this game out and get 3 outs in the Game 1 win. But first, thank you to BSN, the preferred provider of apparel for Marian Night Athletics. You fans out here enjoying a beautiful Tuesday afternoon in Indianapolis, 70 degrees and sunny. Taylor trailing by 2. Down to their final 3 outs here at the top of the 7th. Delaney McCreary had the 2-run blast back in the 4th inning. And got the Trojans on the board. Will lead things off here at the top of the 7th. 6, 7, 8 due up for Taylor.
Very important here for Stunkel just to stay within herself here. Don't try to do too much.
And here's a look back to the 4th inning when she took this to the left center wall. McCreary, not really a home run hitter, but doing the most for her team.
Well, the good news for Coach Fleming and his squad, though, is there's no such thing as a bases empty 2-run homer. So if she were to go deep again, it would not be devastating.
Stunkel works herself back into this count, 2-2. Gets just underneath this one. Malone going back on it. We've seen that play made a dozen times today.
Yes,
One out.
Number 30, Bella Browning.
And now you got, after the home run hitter there, you got 7, 8, and 9 here again. Just continue to do what you've been doing if you're Olivia Stunkel. Just left that a little up.
Here's Bella Browning, 0 for 2 on the day. Strike out and ground out to short. And when the Trojans did score their 2 runs back in the 4th, it was all with 2 outs. Barton got it started with a 2-out single. McCreary put her in with a home run. Big swing. 2-2 to Browning.
Just a little bit behind that pitch, fouled it off the screen right side. So if you're Browning, you just want to be a little bit quicker. And of course, then you got to watch for the off-speed pitch because Stunkel's got a fantastic one.
The 2-2 on the inside. Slow roller. Malone over to first. 2 down. So the Trojans down to their final out as Claire Duncan steps into the box.
You know, Kelsey, at the high school level, when a kid has a day like Allie Malone is, you say, hey, man, you guys, we're going to give her a scholarship here, you know, if we keep hitting the ball to her. Well, she's already playing college ball, so.
10 putouts at shortstop for Malone. Duncan walked back in the third. Flew out to short in the fifth. The freshman from Frankton, Indiana, looking to keep this game alive for her Trojans team.
And we talked earlier, this is a young lady that has kind of come on of late.
Just got the hop bat. Only making her 5th start, but batting over 600 coming into this game. The off speed from Stunkel, down in front of it, 2-2.
Nice job behind the plate there by Grace Meyer. And again, keep in mind that if you come with a similar pitch and it does hit the ground, you're going to have to either tag the batter runner or throw to first.
2-2 up in the air. Green's got it, and that will do it for game 1. Marian comes out on top, final score 4-2. It was a battle out there. Close game 4-2. Your thoughts, Jim, on game number 1?
Very competitive softball game, enjoyable. Hopefully the folks at home enjoyed watching it. I'll tell you, I'm really looking forward to the next one. These teams have played 3 games. Every one of them has been, I think, a 2 or 3 run game, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Well, stick with us. In about 30 minutes, we'll be right here. Back for game 2 on the ISC Sports Network. Marian takes game 1, 4-2.